I've just arrived at my Airbnb in the center of Madrid. I'm going to be here for a few days doing some sketches around the city. I'm going to take you with me for the adventure. So let's go!
This is likely going to be my last sketch of this series of sketching in Madrid. So I'm here in Callao, which is right in the middle. It's the center of Madrid. Right here, this is Gran Via, which leads down to Plaza España down this way. I'm not sure where it goes to down that way. But when you think of Madrid, this is normally one of the scenes that everybody thinks of. We've got the Schweppes Tower here, and the Capital Cinema is right next door. There's a lot of theatres down here. It really is the centre. So it's my last day. The weather is glorious. I don't even need my jacket. It's so nice and warm. Obviously there's police because it's the centre. So anyway, I'm going to be sketching this, the Schweppes. I'm going to be sketching this, the Schweppes Capitol building. And then that will be my final sketch of this trip. And then I need to go and catch my train back to Barcelona. I'm going to try and include everything in this scene. We've got a lamppost here, a little kiosk, and we've got the big Capital Schweppes Tower, which is going to be here, and then I'm going to have everything else trailing off down here. But I do still want to keep my outline theme that I've been doing in this book. So the absolute top of the building is going to be about here. Little dot there, and the base of it can be here. So it's going to be very top, a little bit smaller, and then just get wider. Sometimes you've just got to go in with it. It's quite scary making the first line. Also, this is about my horizon line. And everything else curves as it goes up and gets more and more curvy. That's something that I'm really going to have to pay attention to. And here we have a little kiosk. So this is my horizon line. These lines need to come in and out of that, you see. The air conditioning unit on top. So I'm going to go about halfway up the building because it's so close to me. Some circles. I was doing this then, like kind of flicking, and I don't like that look. So I had to stop myself. There's another traffic light here. It's a little bit less down, further down than this one. It's about the height of the last circle of this side. And it's about... I can't believe how warm it is. It absolutely feels like summer. I'm doing it again. I'm doing that little scratchy thing I don't like. I do that when I'm not sure, but then it stops me from being loose. I need to force myself to use fluid lines. My perspective might be off in areas, but I really don't mind. It really does not bother me. So here is much more shaded. Okay, I'm going to come back to it. I want to try and keep the whole thing cohesive as I go along. So, oh, look at that. My windows are looking square today. It's unusual for me. It's literally just all windows. This is a hotel by the looks of this, where it says hotel. Oh, I'm a bit sick of drawing windows, not going to lie to you. This one's got some sort of balcony thing going on it, so at least that's something a bit different. Of course, there are windows all down it. They're skinny ones. Notice how my windows have got less window-like, less square, but it's going further off into the distance, so it doesn't really matter. It's another hotel sign there. Okay, there's a bus in the way, so I'm going to have to come back over here. United Colors of Benetton. Here, there's lots of people going in. I'm going to have people everywhere, really, because it's such a busy place. One of the most important things I learned about drawing people, which I'm not great at, is the heads need to be along the same line, unless maybe it's a child, you know, but the adults will all be along the same. I'm not going to put too much detail on this side, really. These are all just kind of shop fronts down here. There's a man dancing in front of me, just at the time of his life. He's got his AirPods in. He's not busking, he's just having a lovely little dance. Whatever makes you happy, eh? Okay, so let's add these hundreds of millions of thousands of windows in here. Something that I really love about sketching and filming it is that I'm not on my phone constantly checking it. I really focus on something, and the more you look, the more you see. It is really kind of like meditation and a practice on focus. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and everybody's is going to be a little bit different. And as long as you're aware that you're not going for realism, it's very freeing. This is not realistic at all, but anybody who looks at this picture would know what it is. At night, this Schweppes logo lights up. It's not like an LED screen or anything. It's really old school. I love it. If you have enjoyed this series, please let me know. I could do more of these sketching cities trips around Spain, around Europe, around the UK, or anywhere that I end up going. So if that is something that you'd be interested in, please subscribe down below and leave me a comment. I've really enjoyed doing this. I'm sure I'll be doing more. Sara, creo que está por allá. Again, I thought they were asking me about my drawings, but no, they just want to know where there's a shop. Where is Zara? One of these days I'll be famous, huh? I've already decided I'm not going to do a sky on this one. Just a bit bored of doing blue skies. I'm going to do a little bit of writing here, I think. Are all these buildings the same colour? More or less. I can do other colours on top. It's my basic kind of stone washy colour. Gosh, my jeans are getting really warm on this in this sun. This part is in shadow. The sun's coming from this side. This is where all my shadows need to go. Let's get some shadows going on now before we add more colours. paint's drying really quickly because of the heat. It's only supposed to be like 12 degrees or something. So how hot is it? Let's see. 13 degrees. See? See? Again, he's not asking about my drawing. He wants the picture. Maybe he saw that I was artistic. Gracias. Maybe he saw my picture and thought he's got a good eye. Now then, a lot of these on this side are reflected blue. And as you come further round, kind of change colour. These ones are all white in the middle, so then we get darker over here. I'm going to do the shrub sign as it lights up at night. When I go over it with my white gel pen later, it's really going to stand out. Let's try and strengthen some of these shadows now to get some contrast. It's all drying out so fast. Can't keep up with it. Let's do some little splashes of red around just to make sure that your eye jumps around. And the green as well. Just make this green. The sign is actually black, but the writing is green, so I really want to make these windows more vibrant blue. Okay, I might come back and put a bit more ink on in a minute. Okay, I'm going to use my 0.5 now, just to really outline the thick edges so that the viewer look where I want you to look. I want you to notice that the tower gets thicker. Maybe this is quite interesting. So I want you to look at that. I want you to notice this. But I also want you to notice that these are in the foreground. Basically, I'm saying here, hey, look at my perspective lines. Okay, I need to stop myself before I go too far. Oh, I love this song. Oh, it's a dance group. I need to add some white highlights, and then I think I'm pretty much done. Right, so these windows were white. The gel pens don't really like going over the top of watercolor, I think. Real watercolor artists would make sure that they left the white spaces to start with and did negative painting. But I don't. That's not me. It's only where I've been sketching. You don't have that time to plan like that. Says taxi here, but from the other way. Okay, I'm going to call that done for now. Sometimes when I look at it again later, I do just add a bit more contrast because the watercolor has dulled down a little. But I think that is not a bad attempt. I think that's done.